Want to know our secret about how we keep our projects on time and on budget? Well, friends, in this video, I'm going to spill all the tea about what exactly project management means for instructional design and learning and development projects. Hi friends, my name is Vanessa Alzate. I am the founder and CEO of Anchor Training, and I've spent a lot of time in instructional design ever since good old 2009. I have to tell you, one of the things that I am most proud of in my instructional design journey is how serious I take project management and my true love for it. I'm not an instructional design project manager, okay? But I've worked with some really amazing ones, and I've helped build project management systems for e-learning and learning and development. So often, I think this is the one area that we skim over, right? In learning and development, we just assume that the instructional designer is going to project manage themselves. And frankly, that's just not the case. What I've noticed is that while instructional designers, a lot of them can be really good at it, it's not usually their top level, the thing that they're best at. Instructional designers, learning and development folks, they are mostly creatives, right? Think about the people that are dreaming up these learning solutions, that they're dreaming up new e-learning modules, learning paths and all that. They're thinking more about those things, right? And they're thinking about how to engage learners. To then make them shift their brain and say, okay, now go into project management mode and make sure that you put everything into your project plan and you really listed out all of the pieces and all of the details and all of the tasks that you need to do in order to get this job done. That's just not their thing. And they need someone to really help take that out of them, get out of them the steps that it takes and really walk side by side with them, offering to support them in writing down all of their tasks in order to meet that goal. Like when you create a facilitator guide, you don't just create a facilitator guide and that's it. There are steps to getting to that facilitator guide, to that final document, right? There is content gathering, there is knowledge transfers, there is, storyboarding it, there is mapping, there is reviews, there is so many things, formatting all of those things, getting graphics. There's a lot of pieces to that puzzle that take time. So I want our clients to know that they're getting a full service project, that it's not just, we turn the key and all of a sudden your facilitator guide is done. There are all these steps to the process. And also, I know that when you hire a contractor or a vendor, it's nerve-wracking, right? It's kind of scary. You don't, especially when they're new, you just don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to be happy with the deliverable. You don't know if you're going to be happy with the service. The scariest thing happens. So you give them all of the content, you give them the knowledge transfer, and then all of a sudden, radio silence. How many of you can relate to that? If you can, give this video a thumbs up. So I know that's happened to me, and it's honestly made me completely tighten up and be totally scared that it was going to be the day of the deliverable and I wasn't going to get anything. What I love about having project management in place, true project management, something that is visible and transparent for us and the customer, is that you can log into our project management system and our sheet that we share with you, and you will see every single step that is being done. You will see that progress is being made. So you may not have heard from us necessarily, but you'll see that there are things getting done and that we're getting closer and closer for you to receive, a version of the deliverable. What is a project manager? I love to think of a project manager as the captain of the ship, maybe the captain of the cruise ship. They're the one that really help to keep everything moving, all the pieces going, and really make sure that we are getting towards our final destination. And we are going to hit that on time and on budget. They really serve to manage the timeline, serve to manage not only the developers and the designers on our end, the design side, they're also there to serve the customer and make sure that they're getting the design team what they need. They're receiving the deliverables on the date that we say that we're going to deliver the deliverables. And if we don't, sharing that information because, maybe a piece was missing or storyline crashed, which I know has happened probably to all of us. Having that communication with that customer, they're also the one that set up project meetings, that set up status reports, and fill those out so that everyone is on the same page and knows exactly what's going on. They are that conduit, and they are the ones that really serve as a player for both sides, right? They are there to work with the design team and then work with the customer and really, help to bridge both and make sure everyone's speaking the same language, which is also really helpful. So you might be thinking to yourself, do I need a project manager if I have one on my side? And the answer is, yeah, you still need a project manager on the design side. When you work with a vendor, you work with specifically Anchor Training, you are following our process. You bought our services and you bought into our process. And while there are things that we can be flexible on and we can work together on, our process is our process. And your project managers might not necessarily know our process and how we get from point A to point D. So that's where our project manager really steps in because they're well versed in the process. So you really do want to make sure that your vendors have their own project manager that is owning the process. Where I see learning and development projects go off the rails is when the process changes. And this doesn't mean the process has to be rigid necessarily, right? And there is flexibility, but when the processes are not adhered to, the tried and true ones, that's where things start to slip, and that's where, frankly, a lot of chaos happens. The other thing that I love about having a project manager on the design side is that PM knows the growing pains. So that PM is there to reassure the client there are growing pains in the beginning of the relationship. No matter the relationship or no matter who, it's never a 100% smooth sailing ship. A lot of nautical references today. But it's never 100% smooth. There are always pieces that are a little bit rocky. There's some rocky waters in the beginning. And that project manager helps you sail those rocky waters. That project manager helps to tell you, this is what you're going to be looking at in this review. This is what's going on, and communicating. Maybe you do have concerns, communicating that to the designers and the design team so that they can, make those changes, they make adjustments, and sometimes help ease any miscommunications or misunderstandings. That's the beauty of having a project manager that understands the design side of things and understands the designer's process. At Anchor Training, you work with a lead learning experience designer and a project manager. So some customers ask us, can the learning and development lead be the project manager? And on some small projects, yeah, they could. And if it's a unique learning and development lead who has those project management skills, yeah, absolutely. There have been projects, and I'm currently on one right now, where I am the learning and development lead and I'm the project manager. But I have both of those skill sets, and I've proven both of those skill sets. More often than not, those two roles or those people are going to be separated out. Again, it's to protect the creative and let them stay in the creative so they can build and all of that, and to ensure that the project manager, they are a high caliber project manager to provide feedback on any sort of red flags, to bring any things to your attention, to really work through the project management process and own the navigating of the ship. At this point, you might be asking yourself, okay, great, but how do project managers really communicate? And how do we know what tools that we're going to be using? Do you use ours? Should we be using yours? So at Anchor Training, we use a project management tool. We've used a few in our time. We've used Zoho Projects, we've used Basecamp, we've used Trello, we've used Asana, Airtable. If it's out there, we're probably have used it. I've even used Smartsheet. And right now, we're using ClickUp. And I'm finding that is the project management tool that really does support everything that we need it to do. You can email through it, you can get a project Gantt chart, you can assign tasks, do all of those basic project management things. And then what I really love is the client dashboard. And we're able to give you a dashboard that really is your one-stop shop where you can see your project timeline, get your reference documents, your frequently asked questions, and have access directly to us through chat and things like that. Definitely recommend that when you're creating this project management process, or maybe you're working on your own internal project and you're figuring out your project management process, I recommend using a specific project management tool and not an Excel sheet or anything like that. I am a huge fan of dependencies and Gantt charts and things like that, and I just love being able to see if I make an adjustment here, how that's going to impact the rest of the project. So I definitely recommend that you are using some sort of project management tool. Okay, friends, this is a quick insight into what project management for learning and development looks like when you work with Anchor Training. And I hope this gives you just a little bit of a better glimpse and a little bit more of an assurance of what project management looks like and why it's necessary and why you cannot cut it. You really need to ensure you have a separate project manager for your own projects. And if you're interested in learning more about Anchor Training Services, and if you're interested in grabbing a copy of our own Managing an Instructional Design Project workbook and templates, I will put a link to that below so you can grab your own copy so you can do some of this project management internally. But if you want to work with Anchor Training and learn more about our services and our offerings and some of those consulting projects we can help you out with, click the link down below to access our website and to schedule a consultation today. Friends, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.